Nkosi yami. You know, guys, I don't know what to say about Musi Maimane anymore. I don't know what to say about Musi Maimane because it looks like Musi Maimane has mastered the skill of annoying South Africans. You remember a couple of days ago, Musi Maimane was trending on social media because South Africans were not happy with him defending the illegal foreigners while attacking Operation Dudula. And now Musi Maimane is back to endorse the national dialogue. The same national dialogue that has been rejected by the people of this country. Somehow, Musi Maimane believes this is a crucial moment in our history. We need to sit down with these corrupt politicians that have destroyed this country and have discussions with them about the issues that are facing us. This is ridiculous. They are expecting us, as South Africans, to sit down with the politicians that have been arrogant, with these corrupt and incompetent politicians that have destroyed this country, and have discussions with these people about the issues that are facing us. And somehow, we South Africans should expect the same people that have destroyed the country to suddenly turn around and fix this country. This is what Musi Maimane wants you to believe. You know, guys, this thing reminds me of what Helen Zille said. You remember when Helen Zille said these small political parties are nothing but the extension of the ANC. Helen Zille was attacked for that. Some people went as far as accusing Helen Zille of being a racist. But now I think we can safely say that Helen Zille has been vindicated. Helen Zille has been vindicated. Guys, you remember even with the VAT hikes, you remember Musi Maimane coming out telling South Africans that there is no way that Build One South Africa will vote for the VAT hikes, but it only took one meeting with the ANC for the same guy to tell South Africans that we will vote for the VAT hikes, but in 30 days, the Minister of Finance will come back with a revised budget. And the South Africans told him that it was impossible for the Minister of Finance to pass the budget now and in 30 days come back with a revised budget. But Musi Maimane continued to double down and continued to lie to the people of this country. Now, he is endorsing the national dialogue of the ANC. He is endorsing the ANC campaigning using the state resources. This is what Musi Maimane is endorsing right now. This is what he's endorsing right now. I mean, like, it seems like something changes people, man. It seems like something changes people there in parliament. What's happening with these people? What's happening with these people? I mean, just listen to this nonsense.
We hold the view as Build One South Africa that 31 years into our democracy, it becomes important for South Africa to be able to forge a new consensus about what its own future looks like. The question on the table always is, who is on trial? Others have arrived at a national dialogue and said that the government is on trial. And yes, the government has demonstrated massive governance failures, not only on the economy, safety of citizens, and many others. But at the same time as all of that, I do think the moral fabric.
So the question is, if you guys are acknowledging that there are problems with the economy, if you guys are acknowledging that there's a problem with crime, if you guys are acknowledging that there's a problem with the infrastructure, if you guys are acknowledging there's a problem with safety, why do these people feel the need to come and have discussions with us instead of fixing these issues that they know? You guys are acknowledging that, yes, there's been massive government failures. Why are these people not fixing these issues instead of coming to South Africans and to try to have conversations with the South Africans? And this is one thing that people do not understand. People are saying, yes, we know of the issues that are facing South Africans. We know of the issues that are facing us. There's no need for politicians to come to us and waste state resources. There's no need for that. But Musi Maimane somehow believes that, yes, despite all of that, there's still a need for these people to come and have discussions with you.
South Africa that 31 years into our democracy, it becomes important for South Africa to be able to forge a new consensus about what its own future looks like. The question on the table always is, who is on trial? Others have arrived at a national dialogue and said that the government is on trial. And yes, the government has demonstrated massive governance failures, not only on the economy, safety of citizens, and many others. But at the same time as all of that, I do think the moral...
I mean, Musi Maimane, if you acknowledge again that the government has demonstrated massive government failures, what you should be calling for is for the ANC to step down. You should be calling for Ramaphosa to resign. Are you telling us that you acknowledge these massive government failures, but somehow you are okay with the same people that have failed the South Africans to have discussions with South Africans instead of these people getting out? Because this is what we are saying. We as South Africans, we don't want to sit down with the politicians and celebrities. I love Siya Kolisi, but I don't want to sit with Siya Kolisi and discuss with him about the sewage in my street. I love some of these celebrities that have been invited there. I love these people because we watch them, we watch their movies and all of that. But I don't want to sit down with these people and have discussions with them about the problems that are facing me. So if you guys acknowledge that there's been massive government failures, why are you not calling for the ANC to step down? Why are you not calling for Ramaphosa to step down? Because this is what you should be calling for. No, the ANC can fail. And instead of the ANC being held accountable, no, let's have a conversation with the ANC. Let's try to understand what the ANC has actually gotten wrong. And maybe we can vote for the ANC again and hope that the same people can suddenly turn around and fix things. I don't get it. I don't get it. If you come to the people and say, I am going to fix this thing, guys, I am going to fix this sewage during the next election cycle. If that sewage is still there, the people should vote you out. The people should vote you out. You should be calling for Ramaphosa to step down because he has failed. But instead of that, you are okay with Ramaphosa coming to us and annoying us with questions like, why are the prospects of a white child better than the prospects of a black child?
We hold the view as Build One South Africa that 31 years into our democracy, it becomes important for South Africa to be able to forge a new consensus about what its own future looks like.
Oh, piss off.
The question on the table always is, who is on trial? Others have arrived at a national dialogue and said that the government is on trial. And yes, the government has demonstrated massive governance failures, not only on the economy, safety of citizens, and many others. But at the same time as all of that, I do think the moral fabric of our society is also on trial. Because it cannot be that the fault of accountability eventually resides itself at the hands of government, when morally so, you see parents murdering their own children. It cannot be so when you see young people falling pregnant. It cannot be so when we applaud people who are corrupt and then send them to parliament and then have a virtuous cycle that says, oh, these people have failed, but at the same time as that, as citizens, we voted for leadership that is not ethical. This is a once-in-a-generation opportunity. We mess this national dialogue up, be assured we will not be able to hold another one. Therefore, it's within that context that we have to do everything possible to ensure that the process is not politicized, that it is not corrupted, and that ultimately it's important that the right people are in the room to have the dialogue.
I mean, like, Musi Maimane, what do you mean? What do you mean that we have to ensure that this process is not politicized? When the president of this country has already came out to divide the people of this country by asking why are the prospects of a white child better than the prospects of a black child? Ramaphosa, by saying that, he was just sowing the division. So for you to come out and say that we need to ensure that this process is not politicized, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Because the ANC, the president of the ANC, has already spoken about the 30 years of democracy, he has already spoken about apartheid. He has already demonized the people that he needs to demonize. He has already attacked the organizations that have decided to pull out of this shame of a national dialogue. What do you mean when you say that we need to ensure that this process is not politicized? The president has already politicized this whole process. I don't know where Musi Maimane was when Ramaphosa delivered that shame of a speech. But Ramaphosa, with that speech alone, he has already politicized this whole process. But you are not calling him out to order. You are telling us not to politicize the process when the president himself has already politicized the process. Why are you not calling Ramaphosa out and saying, Ramaphosa, you are dividing the people of this country? You have called for the national dialogue, but the first thing that you have done is to divide the people of this country. The first thing that you have done is to attack the organizations that have pulled out of the national dialogue. What kind of a national dialogue is this? You guys say you believe in the dialogue. Why are you not dialoguing with these organizations that have decided to pull out instead of you going out and attacking them? What's wrong with these people, man? What's wrong with these people? It has already been politicized. Wake up. The process has already been politicized. And we told the South Africans that the ANC, they don't see this as the national dialogue. It looks like it's only Musi Maimane, maybe only with the couple of people that have voted for Build One South Africa. It looks like it's only you guys that do not see the national dialogue for exactly what it is. This is the ANC campaigning for 2026 and 2029. Ramaphosa has already reminded the people of this country about what the ANC has done for the people of this country for the past 30 years. The ANC is campaigning for 2026 and 2029. This is what this shame of a national dialogue is all about. It is not about fixing the problems of this country. It's not about hearing the issues that are facing the people of this country. It is not about that. It is about the ANC campaigning for these upcoming elections. Why don't you see this process for exactly what it is? Why are you failing to see this shame of a national dialogue for exactly what it is? Somehow you believe that, this is your Mandela moment where you will be in the history books for the national dialogue. No, this is not your Mandela moment. This is not your Mandela moment. Oh my goodness. Man, the ANC finds a way of funding their campaign with the state resources. And instead of the political parties in parliament calling that out, they are telling us that this is a legitimate process. These people are campaigning with the state resources. They are telling us that this is a legitimate process. And guys, you remember that I think it was 2 weeks ago, the news came out that the ANC was talking about expanding the government of national unity, meaning to invite more political parties in the government of national unity. So if I was not Thomas Mabaso, I would actually say that Musi Maimane is campaigning to get into the government of national unity. If I was not Thomas Mabaso, I would say Musi Maimane is auditioning to get into the government of national unity, because there's no way, there's absolutely no way that a supposedly smart politician like him cannot see things that average South Africans are seeing. Absolutely no way. Build One South Africa wants to get into the government of national unity. They want to get in. They want to get in. And I think the ANC, in a couple of months, they are going to reward those political parties that have voted with them to increase the VAT hikes. It's time for those political parties to be rewarded for their loyalty. It's time. I remember Maimane Mashaba already did an interview and said that Action SA has not been invited to become a member of the government of national unity. But Maimane Mashaba said that even if ANC were to invite Action SA, we would decline, because we believe that the ANC wants to destroy the opposition in this country. But I don't believe Maimane Mashaba. I don't believe Maimane Mashaba. I don't think if Maimane Mashaba actually has discussions with the ANC, he will come out and deny the opportunity. He will say that, but South Africans, you said we need to oppose from the inside. So we are getting inside. We are getting inside. We're going to oppose from the inside. So I don't believe Maimane Mashaba. But as for Musi Maimane, This guy is easily swayed. Is easily swayed. Easily swayed. I lost respect for Musi Maimane and Herman Mashaba after ANC only had one meeting with these people. And these people came back and contradicted everything that they've said about the budget and the VAT hikes. The ANC has made these people to destroy their own political credibility. Themselves, they have destroyed their own political credibility. Because these people were going out in the country telling the people that, guys, we have submitted proposals to the ANC and showing the ANC where we can cut so that we can save money. But the ANC was embarrassing these people and humiliating these people at every turn. You remember the Minister of Finance saying that, yeah, these people have given me the proposals, but I still don't see an alternative. The only alternative that we have is to raise the VAT. This is what the ANC was saying. While these people were lying to South Africans and telling us that they have given the ANC proposals and showing the ANC where they can cut, the ANC was saying, no, we don't care about the proposals of these people. We're going to go ahead and implement the VAT hikes. So now it's coming back to endorse the national dialogue. Musi Maimane, this thing cost over 500 million rands. This thing is going to cost over 500 million rands. So what kind of a politician are you to stand there and actually think it is a right thing for the government to waste closer to R1 billion on a talk show? What kind of a person are you who actually thinks that it makes sense for the government to go out and spend R1 billion on a talk show? Don't you think that destroys your credibility? Where is your clarity, man? Where is your clarity? Where are the advisors for these people? Where are the advisors for these people?
I hold the view that the CEO that works in Sandton must be able to have a discussion with the entrepreneur who comes from Alexandra.
Ah, please.
So as we forge a new pathway as a country for the next 31 years. So it is within that we have to say our nation is on trial when we think about the national dialogue.
No, we are not on trial. No, Musi Maimane. We are not on trial. We are not on trial. And by the way, the people in the private sector, they know what needs to be done. The people in the private sector, they know what needs to be done. The people on the ground, they know what needs to be done. The government has failed to create a conducive environment so that people can thrive, open their own businesses and thrive. So I understand you are trying to be smart and speaking about this CEO in Sentin and this small entrepreneur from Alex. You are just trying to play with our emotions. But the truth of the matter is that the government has not created a conducive environment so that people can thrive with their own businesses. So Musi Maimane says that we are on trial. Musi Maimane says that we are on trial. I cannot believe these people sometimes. I listen to these people, man, sometimes, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yesterday, I remember yesterday I did not upload any video, man. And you know, guys, these things, man, these things are so tiring sometimes. I know you guys enjoy me dropping these videos, us having fun and maybe having serious discussions, but from my point of view, these things, man, are tiring. These things are tiring. Now we have to sit here and listen to Musi Maimane endorsing the national dialogue. That is going to cost the taxpayers of this country, I am sure, over 1 billion rands when everything is said and done. And still, we won't have a consensus. We won't have a consensus. How are these people going to draw a consensus? How are they going to draw a consensus? I mean, Thabo Mbeki Foundation has already criticized the whole process to say that no, this thing does not include the citizens-led leaders. It does not include the citizens-led leaders, meaning that the people on the ground, they were not given the opportunity to elect their own leaders. If Ramaphosa had actually given us a chance to elect our own leaders for these imbizos, then that would be nice. But Ramaphosa and his people, they imposed these eminence people's group, these elites on top of South Africans and say that these are the representatives of the people of this country. They are saying these people, these elites that they have imposed are our representatives. These people are representing us. And somehow Musi Maimane believes that this is a legitimate process. Ah man, who needs enemies when you have a leader like Bill in South Africa? When you have a leader like Musi Maimane, nobody needs an enemy. Guys, what are your thoughts? Please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Guys, let's get to 100,000, man. Let's get to 100,000. Subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye bye.